All right, today we're talking about lesson 22, which is finding areas of quadrilaterals. So we are currently talking about part 2. It's the two questions that are from this part say, find the area of a trapezoid with parallel lines measuring 14 centimeters and 21 centimeters and a height of 13 centimeters. D says, find the area of this figure. So this is a parallel, or this is a trapezoid. Here it's asking us to find the area of a trapezoid, but we probably haven't had the ability to actually, we probably don't know how to actually find that. So we're going to need to learn what formula we need to use. So here, so a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. Bottom. The height of a trapezoid is a segment that is perpendicular to both parallel sides of the trapezoid. Parallel sides of the trapezoid are known as bases 1 and bases 2. It doesn't really matter which one is base 1 and base 2. Typically, when you are naming them base 1 and base 2, base 1 is going to be the smaller one, base 2 is going to be the larger one. Two congruent trapezoids can be connected to form a parallelogram with sidelines equal to base 1 plus base 2, as illustrated in the following diagram. So they pick up this one, flip it over, and it's going to end up being a parallelogram. We know that because here we have same side interior angles, and because this side is the supplement to this side, it ends up being, we know these two lines are parallel, and then these two lines are defined as parallel. So we have that. And then we just talked about in part 1 that the area of a parallelogram is base times height. So the area of a base times height. Since the base of the parallelogram is base 1 plus base 2, and the area is base 1 plus base 2 height, this is the area of two trapezoids, because remember we doubled it in the beginning, then we flipped the other one over. This is the so we need to divide that by divide by 2. So we can use the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 height. Typically, when I see this written, it is area equal to B1 plus B2 over 2H. So just as so we're taking the average of the two bases. And then we multiply that times the height. So here we have the base 1 is 20, because like I said, if you're naming them, you want the smaller one to be base 1, and the larger one to be base 2. We have 20 plus 28 to find, we have 20 inches plus 28 inches over 2, and that is going to be multiplied times 6 inches. So now to actually solve this, we need to follow the order of operations. So we start off with everything inside the parentheses. So now we actually have, or the grouping symbols. Now we actually have stuff in the grouping symbols. This part right here is in the grouping symbols, part right here. So we need to work on everything inside of that grouping symbol first. And remember, when we do that, we use the order of operations in that grouping symbol. So here we have our grouping symbol. It says 20 inches plus 28 inches divided by 2. So now we have this grouping symbol that is taking the 20 plus the 28 is on top. So we look for multiplication. There's no we look for exponents. There's no exponents. We look for multiplication. There's no multiplication, but there is addition. So we have 20 plus 28 is 48 inches. Because we didn't multiply, we just keep the units the same. If you had 20 pencils and you got 28 more pencils, we would still have 48 pencils. 2 times 6 have 48 inches divided by 2. That is 24 inches times 6 inches. Because remember, everything outside of our grouping symbol just gets dropped down. So now we have 24 times 6 because there's no grouping symbols. There's no exponents. So we move on to multiplication. 24 times 6, 6 times 4 is 24, carry a 2. So we have 144. Now remember, we have inches and inches. We multiply inches times inches, and we get inches squared. Over here, it's the same thing. We're using the same formula. So we have 30 plus centimeter. Sorry. 30 centimeter plus 32 centimeter divided by 2 in parentheses times 11 centimeter. So we start off with our grouping symbol. So we have this 30 plus 32 divided by 2. So then we have a grouping symbol in that grouping symbol. So we follow the order of operations there. We have no exponents, or we have no more grouping symbols. We have no exponents, we have no multiplication, but we do have addition. So 30 centimeters plus 32 centimeters is 62 centimeters. And then we just copy everything else down the way that it was in the first equation. 2, we have our grouping symbol, then we have 11 centimeters. 62 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 2 divided by 2 is 1 centimeter, times 11 centimeters. 31 times 11, so that is 341 centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. So now, going back to our questions from earlier, we have find the area of a trapezoid with parallel sides measuring 14 centimeters and 21 centimeters and a height of 13 centimeters. So now we need to use what we have learned. Remember that we have the formula, area of a trapezoid is equal to base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times h. Our base 1 is the smaller of the two. So a is equal to 14 plus 21 over 2. And our height is 13. Sorry, centimeters. We go inside of our parentheses, we go inside of our grouping symbol. We have 14 plus 21, 4 plus 1 is 5 centimeters. 1 plus 2 is 3, 35 over 2 times 13 centimeters. Area is equal to. Now we go inside of our grouping symbol. We have no exponents. We do have division. So we divide 35 by 2. We have area is equal to, I believe that's 14, no, 17.5 centimeters times 13 centimeters. 107.5 times 13. You're multiplying. You have one decimal. $15.21.03.5 5, row 7, row 1, 5, 7, 2, carry 1, 20, so we have 227.5. And we have centimeters times centimeters, so that is centimeters squared. Down here on D, we are using that exact same formula. So we have our area is equal to base 1 is 4 yard plus 6 yards divided by 2 times 2 yard. Now we go inside the grouping symbol first. We go inside the grouping symbol within the grouping symbol, so we have 10 yard over 2 times 2 yards. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 10 yards divided by 2 is 5 yards times 2 yards. That is a total of 10 square yards. So that is it for part 2. I will see you again on part 3.